WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskey. The Irishman, Founder's Reserve, maybe not that popular, but not exotic and rare. This is the Florio Marsala cask finish. 46% non-chilled filtered, small batch non-chilled filtered, as I just mentioned. Now, this is very, very unusual. This is one of those small casks, a small batch. No, it's not. It's a single cask. This is actually cask number 2276. This is bottle number 90 of 385, 46%, and Marsala. Marsala, maybe you know Madeira. Madeira is an island off of Portugal, and Marsala is actually an area of Sicily in Italy where they produce also a nice fortified sweet wine. I'm just going to try to show this in the camera so you can actually see here. Single cask. Yep, focused. Very, very good. That was very unusual when I opened the bottle, because I was not expecting a single cask. I read online, single cask. I read in the box, small batch. Hey, what's going on? It says here on the back of the box, this latest expression of the Irishman Founder's Reserve was matured in bourbon barrels and finished for an additional 12 months in Marsala Hogshead from the beautiful Florio winery in Sicily, resulting in a stunning balance between the sweet Marsala and the spicy pot still base. Delicious malty aromas and hints of red berries give way to floral notes infused with a touch of hazelnut and deep oak spices. WalshWhiskey.com. This summer, 2008, in July, I was at the Walsh Whiskey Distillery. Beautiful, beautiful place, very well done. I had the privilege of having a private moment or an interview with Woody Kane, Woody Kane, who is the marketing and advertising director there, and also one of the best tour guides they have there at the distillery at the moment. And he also mentioned the fact that in 1999, Bernard and Rosemary Walsh were making Irish coffee and Irish cream and so on. And I think it was Irish cream, not Irish coffee. And yeah, they decided, let's make whiskey. So they had a consignment with the Irish Distillers Limited. Now, for those of you that know a little bit about Irish whiskey history, we know that in 1966, Cork Distillery, Jameson, and also Powers joined forces and said, hey, in order to survive, we're going to have to actually build one major distillery, and it's going to be in Middleton. 1972, Bushmills was added to the Irish Distillers Limited group. 1988, Pernod Ricard from France bought this group. And then 2005, Bushmills was sold to Diageo. Diageo 2014 traded the Bushmills for the missing 50% of the Don Julio tequila brand, so that they now own 100% of the Don Julio tequila. So 50% of Don Julio tequila equals 100% of Bushmills. I don't know. Okay. Paddy, which is also a great Irish bottom shelf whiskey, was sold 2016 to Sazerac. But back then in 1999 and up until basically now, well, about 3 years ago to be honest, Walsh Whiskey Distillery had a consignment with Irish Distillers Limited to actually produce their whiskey for them. Now, Woody Kane actually gave a great example of this. Now, imagine your aunt makes cupcakes, and her cupcakes are delicious. So, in her kitchen, she starts baking maybe 100, maybe even 600 or 800 cupcakes a week. And then she says, hey, I'm going to have to make a business of this because everyone wants to buy them. And she goes to the Food and Drug Administration or the health or whatever, and they come and they look at the place and say, I'm sorry, lady, you can't make industrial food here. You need to have stainless steel everything and so on and so on. You need to have a consignment, which means you need to go to a bakery shop where everything is up to the health code, and you can actually rent or lease this place for 2, 4, 6 hours a week. And there you can continue to make your cupcakes and sell them to the world. And basically, that's exactly what Bernard and Rosemary Walsh did. They went to Irish Distillers Limited. They gave them the recipe they wanted. They actually supervised the distilling process and also the filling process of into the barrels. And so they actually used the distilleries from IDL, which was Bushmills and also Middleton. And the very, very important thing is they said, we want to have triple distilled. And we want to have it we want single pot still, we want single malt. And this is 70% single malt and 30% single pot still. The additional 12 months was then in the Marsala hogshead. I should have actually poured this before I talked about the entire thing here. So sorry. All right, now, there's one tiny little problem in a second from now. I'm not a big fan of Marsala. A friend of mine, his name is Andre. He was actually the YouTuber in Germany who originally had the most videos online. Now I've actually surpassed him. He had 800 and now I'm over the 800 mark as well. Yay. Took me only 2.5 years to get there. And he gave me, when he actually slept at our place, came to one of my whiskey tastings at home, at my home, he gave me a bottle of Marsala and said, Jason, here, this is what it actually tastes like. You've had Madeira, you've had the sweet, you've had the dry, you've had a lot of sherry and port and so on, but you've never had Marsala here. Wow! It was very, very intensive, and that's my problem here. I'm not a big Marsala fan. So first of all, on the nose, I do get a nice chocolatey moment, covered in cherries. Do you remember those Russell Stover cherry chocolates? The candies, the cherry with that chocolate filling. That's what I'm getting here almost. Very nice, actually. I get a tiny little hint of clove in there. The alcohol, even though it's 46%, is almost non-descriptive. It's very, very rich, very, very full, very, very cherry-like, and not a deep dark cherry. Not a with S sherry, but a CH cherry, a sour cherry almost. All right, let's try this. Now the 46%, very, very obvious. It's a little bit peppery. It's a little bit hot. That good mixture between the single malt and the single pot still. Because one of the products that is very, very similar but yet it's different would be the Writer's Tears Red Head. It's 46%, non-chilled filtered, and yet it is in sherry, Orolozo sherry. I like Orolozo sherry. So, glass, open this up. And it's from the same manufacturers, both from Walsh Whiskey. They have two big brands at the moment. They have the Writer's Tears, which was the second one that they brought on the market. They call it the champagne of whiskey because of the high content of single pot still, mixed with the single malt. And the first one was, of course, the Irishman, because it was supposed to be authentic to what we back in the 19th, 18th century had, what we had back then from what Irish whiskey should have been. So, it's a lot like burnt creme brulee. It's a lot of burnt caramel, a little bit almost like burnt chocolate. It's that darkness that I just don't like here. All right, I added a little bit of water to this. Let's see if it gets better. But it really does have that sherry and the cherry. I'm sorry, with CH. But it's not my. I just got the wine. It's just not really what I'm looking for. The opposite, on contrary. The same 46%, the same bite, the same edge, the same pepper, but yet that sherry, that Orolozo sherry, just kind of covers this up and rounds it up, and it's much better. 75 euros, 38 euros. Two of these, one of these. Not even a question in my book. This is going to receive a C plus. It has to do with the finish. This would actually receive more of like a 2 in my book. I like it much better. Value for money, it's going to be a D, 75 euros, way too expensive. Yet it is a single cask. It's not just small batch. It's very, very sought after, and we have to take a look and see if we can find that anywhere, to be honest. Newly released once again in the summer of 2018. Over here, the Writer's Tier Redhead, at least in Germany, available everywhere. Even some supermarkets have this. They almost flooded the German market with this, and I really like it, and a lot of my friends like it as well. Highly, highly, highly recommendable. All right, question of the day. What is your favorite finish for a Irish whiskey? Sherry, very easy for me. Is it Sauternes? Is it Madeira? Is it port? Is it sherry? Is it red wine? Is it what did I forget? Muscatel? Is it a beer, IPA? There's many, many different type of finishings you can have. What is your favorite finish for an Irish whiskey? Stout. There's all these things going on at the moment in Irish whiskey. I prefer the sherry. That's the way I am. All right, thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and please write a comment. It helps a lot. My videos come out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. See you soon. Bye-bye.